Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to NGS. I am Jason, and today I've got a Division B West match coming for you guys. We have A-MEI-ZING versus LiT Unknown, and these guys are all ready to go, and we're going to go right on into draft number 1 on Towers of Doom here for the Nexus Gaming series. And just like that, we are already ready to go. Both these teams very punctual tonight, very efficient. Coin toss was won by LiT Unknown, and they selected their first map ban tonight, which was Battlefield of Eternity. A-MEI-ZING electing to ban out Braxis Holdout. Towers of Doom was the pickup here for LiT Unknown, and A-MEI-ZING selected Volskaya Foundry for our game number 2. So Towers of Doom here will be our first map, and we are going to be looking at globals, wave clear, and overall just a sense of deniability is what you're wanting to look for when you're here on Towers of Doom. The better job you can do poking out and denying these altars can really be a big factor. Also, global presence can be a huge factor, but sustainability is also something that's not only very good on this map, but pretty good on every map here. Heroes of the Storm may have oversized our logo just a tad. Apologize. Let me get that just a little smaller. There we go. So right away, the Lucio ban starting here. Definitely the strongest healer in the meta right now. Also a very good counter to a couple of heroes. In particular, Genji with that Dragon Blade and Malthael with the Tormented Souls. So we'll have to see if that's a direction that A-MEI-ZING wants to go in here. Hanzo banned out for the side of LiT Unknown. Incredible denial pressure, I should say. As well as just overall being a terror in a lot of ways in the damage department. Surprisingly, not getting a very big nerf today in the adjustments for this patch, but we will see on the other side Greymane versus Greymane and ETC for LiT Unknown. So a couple very strong meta heroes to start this one off. Couple more picks coming up here for A-MEI-ZING. Going in with the Abathur, so we'll be able to help out the Genji with that Abathur hat, that symbiote. And of course, the global presence of Abathur on this map is also something that you can't really ignore. His ability to side soak during the altar phases can be very strong. And Alexstrasza coming out here from A-MEI-ZING as well. Heroes of the Frat, thank you so much for the host. I appreciate it. Hello to everyone who's coming over from that stream. Welcome. So, second round of bans here. Would expect A-MEI-ZING to ban out another support. They have Alexstrasza, so they've already got their support out on the table. They've already banned out the Lucio. My guess would probably be the Stukov, though the Uther can also act as a decent counter to the Genji. Also wouldn't rule out banning the Brightwing. Slight health nerf to Brightwing today, so not something that's super influential, but helps out a little bit. And also, of course, cannot deny the Brightwing is both good on this map as a global and a good counter to Genji with that polymorph. It's Anubarak going to be the ban out here for LiT Unknown, so not wanting to encourage the dive and just general counter to spell damage that Anubarak can bring. Not to mention the web wrap, something that they may want to avoid. Also, no real Mosh counters coming out so far from A-MEI-ZING. Alexstrasza's Dragon Queen form does have that knockback that could potentially interrupt it, but that's only when Dragon Queen is active, so Anubarak can be very solid at countering that Mosh Pit. So I'll have to see if that's the direction that LiT Unknown is looking for here. They do have the Greymane for a lot of burst damage potential and a lot of room to be able to draft follow-up for that. One other factor that Uh-oh. That's a bummer. Looks like we had somebody DC. Alright, so we will get on back into this draft in just a moment, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, and we have LiT back. Alright, so we're going to get the draft redone. Exactly the same picks. Towers of Doom. A-MEI-ZING versus LiT Unknown. Take two. Let's go. Rapid draft time. Boom goes the Lucio. Anzo. Thrown out of here. The Insta Genji pick. At least we know what we're doing here.
Bring the mega death.
I shall do what I must.
And the Abattoir. Maybe the Abather? They're thinking about it. They're giving it some serious thought here.
Evolve. Conquer.
I had to make sure to get the pajama skin. Gotta be the same skins too, I think. That's probably a rule. Then banned out the Anubarak, and this is what we were waiting for, was the question of who is gonna ban, or what are we gonna ban over on the side of A-MEI-ZING. Rip Aroni. So they are going to deny the Stukov, so it's going to let a couple of decent healing options go. I think the one that I like the most favorably here is probably, I'd probably say is the Brightwing. But there are a couple good options. There are a couple good options that also are good counters to the Alexstrasza healing. Couple come to mind, such as Anna or Morales. You know, the grenades, either grenade really can be a good counter to the healing circle. However, they're both kind of weak to the dive of Genji, so they're going to choose to go with Malfurion. So Malf does have a nice counter mechanic to the Genji with that Twilight Dream. Does have the opportunity to silence the Genji on the back line once he dives, making him easy target here for Greymane. The new Tyrael also coming out here from LiT Unknown. So this new reworked Tyrael can be very powerful in his own right. So two more picks coming out here from A-MEI-ZING. I would expect to see another... Well, I'd expect to see actually two frontline damage dealers. The problem is I don't know where all the damage is coming from. Genji doesn't usually have super high damage numbers. So you would expect it to be two relatively high damage frontliners. Maybe something like a Sonya and a Diablo, possibly an Arthas. It's got to be somebody that's bringing in some damage. Okay, so Kerrigan and Muradin. So a couple of very divey frontliners that can get after the back line here of LiT Unknown. Quite a lot of damage coming in from the Kerrigan. And, of course, with a team the caliber of A-MEI-ZING, you would expect them to be able to coordinate that dive in pretty well. Tychus got to close out this draft here for LiT Unknown. So we'll be able to put some pressure on that solo tank Muradin, as well as just generally being able to back up with a lot of damage. But no, not a whole lot of mobility on the Tychus. Does have the short dash occasionally, but otherwise might be a little bit vulnerable to this Kerrigan dive-in combo. Does have a lot of damage in return, though. Also a lot of good poke and range damage with that Commandeer Odin, which is the ult I would expect here, but can I say it wouldn't be the first time that I had been surprised by an ultimate pick, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, everybody, by the way, for coming out and taking a look at this NGS match, A-MEI-ZING versus LiT Unknown. Worth noting here that in the B Division West, A-MEI-ZING is ranked number 1 in the power rankings, while LiT Unknown is the 10th out of 10 teams here in the B Division West. So we'll have to see if LiT Unknown's got anything for the top team in B West tonight. Speaking of
Heroes.
here they come out on the left side, the blue team, LiT next, I should say, is going to be on the Alexstrasza. Lasai is going to be on the Genji. Kaizen on the Muradin. Machiavelli is going to be on the Kerrigan. And Hayes is going to be on the Abathur. On the right, LiT Unknown. Legion is going to be playing the Tyrael. Chaos Pigeon on the Tychus. Devilhawk on the ETC. Teddy Bear is going to be on the Greymane. And Ziltoid is going to be on the Malfurion. Both these teams will go ahead and rotate their way on in to the mid lane. Abathur will start in the top lane, slowly putting out those extra minions to push a little bit. We'll be able to side soak the lanes with that symbiote. And the side of A-MEI-ZING not committing to this early fight. With the Abathur, they do not have the numbers advantage in the early game, so instead just choosing to get out of the lane quickly and get themselves some XP. Their main goal here is to make it to level 10 without falling behind too much, really. That's kind of the main goal of the Abathur comp is, if anything, to get an XP lead, but just basically stay in the game until level 10 to be able to get that ultimate evolution and get the side soak and split pressure along the way. And really be able to take advantage of it. But we will see the combo coming out onto Chaos Pigeon. The rotation coming in, though, from ETC and Ziltoid into the bot lane will deter A-MEI-ZING for the moment. Camps have spawned here for these Sapper camps. All 3 of them are now up. Nobody immediately rotating to these camps, so we'll have to see which team pulls the trigger first. The side of LiT Unknown keeping their eyes out for the rotations here. Meanwhile, Lasai getting pretty aggressive here onto Legion. We will see a lot of tower damage coming out onto Lasai, though. Legion getting very low. Gotta be careful with that Genji's ability to dash in and out here in the solo lane. Devilhawk finding himself a few members of A-MEI-ZING rotating in. Chaos Pigeon now working on this camp. So we will see both teams going ahead and rotating out to their respective Sapper camps on each side. Slight XP lead right now for LiT Unknown, but not really anything too ridiculously crazy in any of these lanes. Meanwhile, we do see the rotation in by LiT Unknown just a little bit too late. Lightneck's actually going ahead and popping the Dragon Queen, and the combo is going to come out onto ETC. They'll be able to get him down, and they continue to push in. And they're going to be able to get a nice advantage here in lane with their Sapper camp. They'll be able to take this down and probably push us into the wall as we see the triple altar phase spawning. By the way, let's get these talents up for you guys. I apologize for forgetting about those here early in the game, but so far Prog Rock about 5, so we will see the side of LiT Unknown trying to rotate for those right away, and all 3 being initially casted here. Are they going to get the interrupt on any of these here? And Legion does come down just in time to get to Lasai. Meanwhile, in the bot, we've got a 3v2 situation. Machiavelli is casting and will be able to cap this on the bottom side. But meanwhile, LiT Unknown is able to rotate and grab their own here. But you know, at the end of the day, you look at these 2 comps, and the Abathur comp usually not able to walk away with 2 of these initial altar caps. So we will see a nice advantage coming out for A-MEI-ZING. However, they have caught Machiavelli out a little bit here. Devilhawk going to be able to go in along with Teddy Bear And Teddy Bear getting himself a kill here in the early game. 2-1 on the kill count so far. Very nice pick coming out from LiT Unknown. 4-man rotating here into the bot. A lot of damage on that bottom wall. Done mostly by those sapper camps, I would imagine. But right now, both teams rotating around, soaking, and actually still pretty even on the experience side of A-MEI-ZING, of course. It does favor them a little bit post-10 with that Abathur comp, so they're going to be looking to make it into the late game, which is not a very difficult thing to do on Towers of Doom. And we will see both teams capping their respective sapper camps once again.
The altars are rising, heroes.
And this time the altars are going to spawn in the two bottom areas. So the question is, how are these teams going to rotate between these two altar capture points? We've got one on the bot, which positional advantage right now for A-MEI-ZING. And we've got LiT Unknown sitting up here around this top shrine area. Teddy Bear starts the cap, but will immediately back off. Meanwhile, it looks like LiT Unknown wanting to force the issue right now. We will see Devilhawk interrupting LiT on the bot, or on the top there. Meanwhile, a 4v3 here in the bot. Abathur is body soaking in the top lane, so the longer this dance goes on, the more benefit that A-MEI-ZING will get. We see the healing come out, and also Lightnex is going to go ahead and pop that Dragon Queen for a lot of extra pressure there. Also, LiT getting the better of that exchange against Devilhawk, so ETC going to have to tap and try to come back in, but LiT is capping this top, and we'll be able to get that top altar. Machiavelli able to cap in the bottom, and that's going to be two more of these shrines going over to A-MEI-ZING. But are they going to be forced to pay here? It looks like they are. Muradin and Alexstrasza falling here, and the chase is still on. They have found Machiavelli. The slide comes through, and a 3-for-0 exchange for LiT Unknown. Worthy trade, I would say, overall. Does lose them a lot of the XP that they gained from the Abathur side soaking, but overall they take the extra 8 shots here, and now have taken a 12-shot lead in terms of the core health. So good things happening for both sides. Level 10, the race to level 10 definitely going to be won here by LiT Unknown. They pick up their level 10s, and their heroics are going to be coming in hot. Commandeer Odin, Sanctification, Mosh Pit, Twilight Dream, and Greymane going to go for the Throat. So going for that burst potential, trying to blow up some of the squishier members of A-MEI-ZING, and the slide coming in onto Machiavelli, and the Twilight Dream not quite hitting its mark there. Machiavelli will be able to walk out unscathed, more or less unscathed, and that is going to be Twilight Dream down for another 80 seconds. Meanwhile, we do see the altar spawning here in about 20 seconds. Level 10s should be achieved by A-MEI-ZING in that time, so they should have the option here to go ahead and contest this, should they decide to. We are going to have Dragon Blade along with Cleansing Flame, Avatar, Ultimate Evolution, and Maelstrom coming out here from A-MEI-ZING. The slide coming in by Devilhawk onto that Circle of Healing. We are going to see Haze coming in to try and get the protected status. Right? Oh, that's actually Haze on the Abathur clone. So double Genji coming out here. A lot of poke on the back line. We do see the Mosh Pit coming out, only catching Machiavelli, and no damage to follow it up here, as Teddy Bear getting very low on the back end. LiT getting that kill out onto him, and the resets coming in for LiT as they come through, and just a ton of damage overall coming from Machiavelli as well as LiT on that back end, and Haze with that double Genji. A 5-for-0 exchange going over to A-MEI-ZING. They were patient. They waited for that level 10, and then they took that team fight and dominated it there. Will allow them to go ahead and cap this altar here in the mid, and another 4 shots going to be going over, and A-MEI-ZING is now halfway to the promised land here on Towers of Doom. Level 13 also right around the corner here. Now about a level lead for the side of A-MEI-ZING. LiT next going to go ahead and get started on the Sapper camp in the top lane. And right now it looks like LiT Unknown is out for blood, rolling around as 5. They are looking in at trying to get a pick on somebody, but A-MEI-ZING will go ahead and back up. They still cap the camp, but for now they're going to be looking to... the Ultimate Evolution actually is up, but not all of the heroics are here. Level 13 now also in for A-MEI-ZING. So this could be a good opportunity for them to engage, and it looks like they're hanging around here in the top lane to do just that. They are going to go ahead and allow LiT Unknown to rotate out. Abathur, meanwhile, in the bot lane, body soaking. Going to get a little bit of extra out here in the bot lane with those extra minions. Chaos Pigeon looking around for the Abathur, keeping his eyes open. Abathur, of course, has gone ahead and rotated around to the top lane using that tunnel. Digging his way on up to the top. Will Tyrael snuff him out here? And actually, we see Hayes go ahead and hit the B button to escape harm up there. Bamboozling the side of LiT Unknown right now is everybody's favorite Nexus Slug. Meanwhile, we will see the 2 altars spawning here in the top. Right now, it looks like LiT is going to get in onto Chaos Pigeon here and interrupt. Machiavelli casting on the other side. We'll be able to pick that up. Cleansing Flame coming out to try to put a little extra pressure. We do see the Ultimate Evolution coming out. Hayes getting a little bit extra poke damage out, but a huge mosh pit coming out here from Devilhawk. We also see the go for the throat coming in. Muradin does actually end up being the first to fall here, but LiT comes back with the Dragon Blade. And oh my goodness, the wipes coming out here. A lot of damage also coming in from LiTNX, who barely survives that whole ordeal. Oh, and gotta be careful. The minions starting to turn onto LiTNX there. Oh, that was very close. It's okay, LiTNX knew exactly what he was doing. Nothing to worry about here. But at the end of the day, it is a 5 for 2 exchange there for A-MEI-ZING. Now ahead 12-6 in the kill count and about a 2-level lead, which is about to turn into a talent tier advantage on that 16. And there it is. LiT going to go ahead and dash on out here in the top lane. And while Abathur's just been kind of passively allowing those minions to help these minion waves push here in the bot, and a little bit of damage onto the bottom bell tower. So it's a slow but steady death to these structures, having that extra minion in lane. Meanwhile, in top lane, Legion quickly caps this and is going to have to try to get out here. Machiavelli does hit that combo, but they're going to go ahead and back off as the rotation comes in for LiT Unknown. Still down the 16 talent tier. Isn't exactly where you'd ideally want to force a fight, but we'll have to see. Actually, Hayes coming out with the Ultimate Evolution here. They go in deep. They are going to start to collapse in on this, but Hayes having a lot of that damage come down onto the evolution. Kazin coming in actually misses the Stormbolt onto Legion there. And for now, they are going to back out. Triple altar phase is here. Whole team's going to go ahead and well, start to cast on their own side, but LiT gets this first over here. Teddy Bear does end up casting on the other side, and all the while Abathur grabbing that bottom one. And now, before we knew it here, 4 health left on the core. Meanwhile, the mosh pit coming out does hit 3 members. The sanctification to follow it up here, maybe a little bit early, but we do see a nice amount of damage coming down. But on the other end, LiT comes in with a ton of damage. The cleansing flame falling down and also dealing quite a lot of damage. Devilhawk gets pushed out, and LiT actually going in to get the kill, and they are able to keep him alive from that last tower shot. And again, the ace coming out, and this time only costing them the life of Muradin. Meanwhile, with just 4 health left on the core. We are going to see A-MEI-ZING go ahead and go for the boss. And LiT's not even willing to help here. I guess LiT doesn't really like this plan very much or something. A's going to go ahead and pop the ultimate evolution. LiT getting very low, and actually we see Kerrigan die, but we will see the boss being captured, and that is going to be it. GG, and game number 1 going over to A-MEI-ZING here on Towers of Doom. Game number 2, we will be heading to Volskaya Foundry, which is the map pick for A-MEI-ZING, but LiT Unknown will have first pick, first ban. 17-8. Pretty solid early game coming out from LiT Unknown. Most of the advantage, I think, came for A-MEI-ZING in the back half of the game with those level 10s and the ultimate evolution. Give you guys a quick peek at these talent builds. And then we will move on to game number 2. Hello again, everybody. How's everybody doing tonight? All right. Both these teams on in. Overall, just really strong performance in the back half by A-MEI-ZING. You saw a lot of good focus fire. Not a whole lot of split damage. But overall, I would say quite a lot of good coordinated play there coming out from A-MEI-ZING. All right. Deltoid over here. Chaos Pigeon. All right, looks like we got all 10 in the lobby. Let me just make sure both of these teams are ready to go. All right, A-MEI-ZING is ready. Make sure LiT Unknown is good to go. All right. And here we go. Game number 2. Volskaya Foundry. A-MEI-ZING versus LiT Unknown. This was the map pick for the side of A-MEI-ZING, so they are going to be giving up the first pick, first ban privileges here to LiT Unknown. Looks like we got a LiT fan here in the chat. Welcome, Jaggins. Thank you very much for joining me tonight. LiT looking very good in that game 1. See what he pulls out here on game 2. As we're going to see the Abathur ban coming out from LiT Unknown. So not wanting to see a repeat performance from Hayes this time around. We'll see again the hover of the Lucio, if not the ban. Lucio has been a very strong part of the meta ever since the support apocalypse. Any support that really gave a lot of utility, I think, gained a massive amount of value when all of those nerfs came in. So his mobility has been one of the main reasons that he's so strong in the meta right now. But also the sound barrier, having that big burst AoE shield. It's a good counter to Genji. And with now, I love this move because it's not only stealing the Genji away from A-MEI-ZING there, but also the main counter is the Lucio. So now with that off the table, LiT Unknown grabs the Genji, but they leave the other Shimada available. And so we'll see A-MEI-ZING breaking out the Hanzo, which we did see Haze on this map with the Hanzo, I believe, a couple weeks ago. So we'll see him breaking it out, I believe, once again here. Question is, what is their second pick going to be? Could prioritize one of the better tanks in the format. Could go for the ETC or the Muradin. They could also grab themselves a support here before the next ban phase to avoid being choked out. They could grab the Stukov or possibly the Malfurion or the Rhaegar. A lot of possibilities here. A-MEI-ZING is going to end up going with the Diablo. So another very popular tank in the format right now. Diablo, of course, benefiting quite a lot with that level 1 talent from the regen globe changes. So we are going to see 2 more picks coming out here from LiT Unknown. So if I'm LiT Unknown, I'm definitely wanting to apply some support pressure here. Pick up a good support. Probably the Uther. I think Uther is a very strong pairing with the Genji. Also, Hanzo does deal a decent amount of burst damage, but also a decent amount of sustained damage as well. So he's got a couple of different good builds, but they are indeed going to go with the Uther and the Johanna. So quite a lot of frontline pressure from that Johanna. A little extra CC coming in from the Uther, and of course the Dragon Blade with the Divine Shield. Very strong combo as the Genji dives into the back line and gets a few seconds of invulnerability to go with that nice amount of spread damage. The Greymane being hovered here, so still a few very strong meta picks available. Greymane, of course, is one of those, and he will be banned out here. We've seen Greymane be very popular in all phases of the game in the last, really, well, I say in the last few months, but really it's been for quite a long time. I don't remember a time in the meta where Greymane was not super powerful. I mean, I do remember times, but I don't remember when those times were, because they were a very long time ago. But we do see one more ban coming out here from LiT Unknown, so they could apply the support chokehold a bit. They could go ahead and deny either the Malfurion or the Stukov, but instead they're going to go ahead and ban out the Tyrael here, which is very interesting. The Sanctification is another very good counter tool for the Dragon Blade. But there are a couple other, and we're going to see the Li Ming coming out here. The LiT special, if you will. And again, the Li Ming and the Ana was another combo that they ran in that match on Volskaya Foundry a couple of weeks ago. The nano boost on the Li Ming, as well as a lot of sustained ranged support. Not to mention the sleep to be able to help keep those targets stationary for the Li Ming combos, and reset city as well. Be very hard to deal with the resets coming in from LiT on that Li Ming. Meanwhile, we will see Lunara coming out on the other side, as well as the Sonya. So very strong front line, quite a lot of sustained damage, not a lot of burst damage coming out here from LiT Unknown. Ana also one of the more high sustained healers in the game, so it could be a good opportunity for A-MEI-ZING to be able to counter that constant tick damage coming in from Lunara, as well as the sustained damage coming in from Genji. But we'll have to see if the Ana is going to be enough. Of course, Ana cannot heal herself, so if the side of LiT Unknown is able to get to the Ana, that could spell trouble for A-MEI-ZING. However, the Ana generally able to stay pretty in pretty safe distance away, be able to still provide those heals. So ultimately, we'll just have to see as the battle rages on here, and the Samuru coming out. So yet again, another hero that we saw in that match. So kind of repeating what they did on that Volskaya Foundry match a little ways ago. We had the Illusion Master on that Samuru from A-MEI-ZING. So a little bit of pseudo global pressure post 10, the ability to swap around and quickly rotate between lanes and get side soak with those clones. Of course, Lunara does give a little bit of a counter to Samuru with that extra, with the reveal and vision on that level 1 talent, should Chaos Pigeon decide to go with that level 1 Lunara talent. Be able to keep an eye on where the real Samuru is. Or Samuro, I should say. Alright, we are loading in here to Volskaya Foundry. Game number 2, A-MEI-ZING versus LiT Unknown. First on the left, it is going to be A-MEI-ZING. Lightnex is going to be on the Ana. Hayes is going to be on the Hanzo. Machiavelli on the Diablo. Lasai will be back on the Liming. And Kaizen going to be on the Samuru. On the right, it is LiT Unknown. Legion going to be on the Sonya. Ziltoid on the Uther. Devilhawk is going to be on the Johanna. Teddy Bear is going to be on the Genji. And Chaos Pigeon is going to be on Lunara. So right away, we're going to see Lunara down in the bot lane will be the solo laner of choice here for the side of LiT Unknown. Devilhawk taking some poke, but we'll be able to unstoppable on out. Right now, it looks like the side of LiT Unknown not really wanting to force a fight here in the mid, but instead we'll go right out to lane and get started with the soaking. Hayes will rotate up to the top lane to catch the wave in top. In the bot lane, it is indeed going to be Chaos Pigeon. Let's take a look at those talents. And it is indeed going to be natural perspective for the extra reveal. That'll be a nice advantage here for Chaos Pigeon. Oh, and in the top lane, the rotation's starting to get a little chippy. As we do also see the support camp spawning here in the top. We will see 3 in the mid, but only be a matter of time before we see some alternative rotations. Teddy Bear actually coming down. Get a little bit of extra pressure here onto Kaizen. And he's going to have to walk away here in the bot lane. Meanwhile, side of A-MEI-ZING, taking a look at Legion. Maybe rotating around to keep him on. Three-man rotation here to the mid. Machiavelli taking a little bit of poke damage. But right now, it looks like both teams more prioritizing just making sure they've gotten these lanes soaked. They are rotating, keeping each other honest a bit here, but no real deep dives or hard attempts at ganks just yet. Also, no attempts for camps just yet. But side of A-MEI-ZING coming on into the mid. Maha, thank you very much for the host. I appreciate it. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, the battle raging on. Both teams right around the same XP here at level 4. So no big advantage going into this first control point, at least from a level standpoint. No globals and no real side-soaking ability from either of these teams, so not really going to be any big rotational advantages. Meanwhile, 4-man rotation to the top lane. Legion's got to watch out here. We'll go ahead and hit that spin to win button. Get out of trouble for the moment. Also, the response rotation here to the top lane by LiT Unknown, but at long last, we will see this first map objective spawning 3 minutes into the game, and now these teams are going to be forced to fight the charge in. Coming on to Chaos Pigeon. Devilhawk going in towards the back line. They're going to get some extra damage out. We do have a 4v3 here as Samuru is was in the bot lane soaking. Now we'll finally see Kazin come on up and start to pressure here. But for right now, LiT Unknown controlling the point. A lot of poke damage coming out that Lightnex has not quite been able to deal with yet. Lasai at half health right now, so we will see continued control of this point by LiT Unknown. But the longer this goes, the longer this poke war goes, the more it should favor A-MEI-ZING, as Uther not the best sustained healer. However, right now they do still appear to be holding the point for the moment, as Samuru electing to grab that camp in the bot lane. And now we will see Hayes starting to rotate down. And the window to contest kind of closing here. They do finally come in and will be able to push them back off the point. But with all this charge advantage, no reason for them to force the issue. Plus Legion pushing here in the top lane. Level 7 will be achieved shortly for the side of LiT Unknown, and they will have an opportunity to come back in and contest this. And they should also have the turret down by that point. They actually step off the point. Stop getting percentage there for a second. We're still 88 to 35 right now, so plenty of time for LiT Unknown. They don't have to be in a big hurry to force this. They can start to come in and look to poke this. The turret is down here. And Samuru is still in bot. Actually now rotating up and going right in towards the back line. Ziltoid getting very low. And Uther will be the first to fall here. Devilhawk also getting very low. Deep into A-MEI-ZING territory here. And we'll see the reset start to come in for Lasai. And there it is. Just like that. So many picks coming out. Hayes actually very low. Lightnex misses on the Q. And Hanzo falls. But the bigger story, 1 for 3 going over to the side of A-MEI-ZING, and the Protector coming out as well. So they will be able to start to get a serious structure advantage with this first Protector. Only a 5-minute Protector, so not too overly powerful in terms of pushing pressure, but they do have 2 members in on it, and they are getting some good solid fort damage here in the mid lane, which will allow for the side of A-MEI-ZING to be a little bit more aggressive with their rotations if they get this mid fort down to try for invades and ganks. But level 10 now being achieved for the side of A-MEI-ZING. It is going to be the Nano Boost along with the Dragon's Arrow, Apocalypse, Wave of Force, and the Illusion Master. Good old Illusion Master style coming in once again from Kazin. Good on this map. It's the pseudo-global that we all want for a big map like this. Though of the 3-lane maps, I would not say that Volskaya Foundry is one of the largest, especially with the fact that the map objectives on the top and bot are on the outer parts of the lane, so the lanes themselves are a little bit closer in terms of rotating. Chaos Pigeon taking a decent amount of damage, and actually the Dragon's Arrow being burned there by Hayes, trying to catch Chaos Pigeon out a little bit. But ultimately, we will see Devilhawk coming up to relieve Chaos Pigeon here in the top lane. We'll get the soak out there. About a level and a half lead right now for A-MEI-ZING. The LiT Unknown should be able to get their level 10s before the beacon phase, which will be in the top this time around. Legion appropriately rotating to the bot to go ahead and side soak that against Hayes down here. And we'll see Legion even going in and looking to get a tower. Meanwhile, level 10s will be achieved over on the side of LiT Unknown. We will see the Dragon Strike along with Leaping Strike. Divine Shield coming out. Leap! And Johanna probably going with Blessed Shield. But, you know. Falling Sword? Maybe? The super dive in onto the back line? God, that's a lot of dive potential. I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it is Falling Sword. I mean, wouldn't be that crazy, right? I don't know. Devilhawk's holding it. Gotta be a reason he's holding that heroic, ladies and gentlemen. Probably not an accident. Kazin will go ahead and come in here onto Legion. Meanwhile, fight being forced here in the top. Ziltoid is going to be blown up here on the Uther. And Devilhawk still holding that heroic. Still keeping us curious. But we will see a nice pick off there onto the Uther by A-MEI-ZING. 5-1 in the kill count so far. Level 13 advantage now being gained for A-MEI-ZING as well. And we will see a lot of pressure coming into the top lane here. The camp was picked up in the top lane for A-MEI-ZING. They are going to utilize that to go ahead and push out a bit. We do see the Uther has returned. Ziltoid ready to fight once again. And it is indeed going to be the Falling Sword. And here it comes. Instantly popped here along with the dive and Dragon Blade to get onto Lightness. And he goes down. Huge pick off there along with LiT. So a 2-for-0 exchange by LiT Unknown. The APOC coming out, but Machiavelli in all kinds of trouble. Hanzo falls. And just like that, it's a 4-for-0 exchange, and Kaizen looking to make it 5. Oh, full team wipe coming out from LiT Unknown. Can you believe it, ladies and gentlemen? What a team fight coming out here. A very coordinated assault. And that last second grab by Devilhawk, I'm not going to lie, I smelt it out, my friend, but still very effective. Now they're going to win themselves some nice damage. Legion actually coming in on that wall. Machiavelli comes back and is able to suplex him on over. And here comes A-MEI-ZING with the resets. And they come back with a vengeance. The nano-boosted LiT gets 3 pickoffs here in the top lane. And maybe going a little bit too far against that wall, giving Diablo that initiation potential. The death timer's not exceedingly high here in the early game, in this phase of the game, so they are able to come back. But the same is true on the other side of the board as well. LiT Unknown will be coming back. They will have the majority of their heroics up, and they will be able to contest for this Triglav Protector if they choose to. They do have Teddy Bear all the way in the bot lane here, but Kaizen is also down here, so it could be a fair 4v4 fight. Teddy Bear will dash out, but 85%. So the window is closing here for LiT Unknown if they decide that they want to do this. They are going to go ahead and get in on the point, and we are going to go into overtime. Devilhawk comes in, the leap also coming in here. Charge in, Machiavelli pops the APOC, but it only hits the Uther, but LiT gets started with the resets, but only gets the 1 kill before going down, and that is going to be a 1-for-3 exchange. LiT Unknown coming out with another impressive team fight, but the side of A-MEI-ZING not willing to let this go just yet. Kaizen comes in, Machiavelli still here, still alive, but it is a 4v2. Some of the members a little bit low here, but that's still a huge numbers advantage, even with the level 16 advantage. And LiT Unknown is going to be able to hold this point and get the charge started on their own. Machiavelli charging in, getting the double stun onto Ziltoid, but he is going to be just okay for the moment. A-okay. Kaizen in a little bit of trouble here. We do have the members starting to come back, though. And the charge getting closer to the 99%, but both teams are going to be back in full force here in time for this. Overtime has been procced. The charge in and the double stun onto Sonya. Machiavelli throwing around the members of LiT Unknown. And 99 on both sides, and this time it will not be contested. A-MEI-ZING comes back in the seesaw and wins the Triglav Protector. Man, that's probably the most action-packed beacon phase I think I've ever seen. LiT Unknown coming out with all kinds of surprises here today on to Volskaya Foundry. But we will see the fort falling in the top lane. Just 1 fort left on the side of LiT Unknown. It is in the bottom lane. About a level lead now for the side of A-MEI-ZING. 9-10 on the kill count, so in terms of team fighting, this has been a very even affair, but the map objectives have been being won by A-MEI-ZING, so they have naturally been getting the structure advantage. They have just Hanzo right now in the Triglav Protector, so not taking advantage of its full potential, but they do have 4 members on the outside to poke and support that Protector, which is a pretty standard strategy here on Volskaya. Sometimes it's best to not have 2 people in it. Full 5-man defense squad here in the bot lane. LiT Unknown looking to keep their last fort alive. Now they have 2 members in the Triglav. They go ahead and put Samuru in there, but it will go ahead and overload. And they are diving in once again onto Haze. They get a lot of damage out on the back line, but no support this time from the damage dealers. It is just the 2 diving in, and they will turn around and blow up the Lunara, so they are able to turn around and get that damage out. Sai having to back out here, taking a lot of tower damage, but Sonya is going to go down. The resets will be procced. And right now, the side of LiT Unknown is going to have to walk away from this situation. 5v3, they're not going to be able to defend this fort. They will go ahead and rotate out to other lanes. Meanwhile, we do have Kaizen up here grabbing the support camp. Of course, on this map, you do get a little bit of extra XP boost from the capture of these camps. So we'll see them going after this turret camp as well. Get a nice little boost in XP, and all of a sudden, amazing, looking towards that level 20. We trying to get that level 20 before this next Protector phase, which will be in the bot lane this time around. LiT Unknown has a very long way to go for that. Machiavelli getting the charge in on Johanna, uses the Falling Sword to actually go in, but this time not a whole lot of support from the back line, but APOC comes in and hits 4 members of LiT Unknown. They are going to turn around and turn that into some big resets. Legion goes down as well. Teddy Bear trying to put on the pressure with that Dragon Blade, but ultimately just not enough damage to be able to deal with both Light Nexus healing and that support camp healing. So level 20 will be achieved off of that 3-for-0 exchange. And amazing, going to go ahead and go into the mid lane here and get some damage done. Level 20s are also coming in. It is going to be the Hell's Gate coming out for Diablo, so just a little bit of extra playmaking ability. The upgrade to Wave of Force, it's pretty much all the ults over on the other side, including play of the game. So kind of pseudo-global for Hanzo now. 2 levels away from that 20 for the side of LiT Unknown. They do have a couple of their lanes pretty well pushed in right now, so they do have some XP that they can grab, but 25 seconds on the control point. They're not going to be able to get level 20 anywhere near close to being able to contest for this objective, so more than likely they're going to be having to forfeit this objective. Meanwhile, the side of Amazing picking up these camps, applying the global pressure, and they will be here to also capture this control point right off the gate, right off the bat. On the side of LiT Unknown, might be pressured into forcing a fight here pre-20. It's not ideal. Meanwhile, Samuru pressuring here onto Chaos Pigeon. No keep to fall back on there in the mid. Still a little bit more than a level away from that level 20. Like right now, they're just trying to safely soak here in the bot. They don't have anybody outside soaking for the side of LiT Unknown right now, so going to be very slow on getting that, but it looks like they are instead going to choose to take this fight despite being down to level 20s. All heroics are available. And right now, Amazing actually backing away from this. Looks like they want to force on their own terms. They are going to come around the back end. Kaizen does go in deep there onto Chaos Pigeon. Teddy Bear trying to help out. The Illusion Master will go around. They do focus down onto Light next, though, and Anna does end up being the first to fall. Lunara going down on the other end, though. That will give the resets over to Lasai, as going to start pumping out the damage on the other gun. Hellgate coming in will get the stun out onto Legion, and that's going to be a 3rd member falling. Ziltoid will go down. Devilhawk be stepping his way to death And that is going to be a 5-for-1 exchange in favor of A-MEI-ZING. Able to take advantage of those level 20 talents. Now they will just march right down the mid lane. And the GGs are going to be thrown out. 3 of these catapults also stacked up here in the mid. Should help the side of A-MEI-ZING take down this core. The shields are down. 30 seconds until they've got their team back. And that is going to be it. GG, game number 2, and the domination coming out tonight from A-MEI-ZING. But I'm going to tell you what, in game number 2, you can't take much away from LiT Uknown. Very competitive through quite a lot of this match. And, you know, I'm truly not trying to put down LiT Uknown here, but having watched a lot of their play throughout the season, this was the best that I've seen them all through the season. They had some really amazing team fights. They had really good coordinated play with what I think is a pretty difficult composition to pull off with the Lunara, the Sonya dive, the Johanna. It's got to be a very coordinated assault, and several times they got into the backline. They were successfully able to delete some of the members of A-MEI-ZING and take some really solid team fights off of the #1 ranked team in the division. So if you're a LiT Uknown, you got to be a little bit encouraged by a lot of that. But at the end of the day, A-MEI-ZING coming out here with the good macro play, showing why they are the #1 ranked team in the division and able to capture themselves another domination. They do have a very good slated match coming in Friday night as well, which is also going to be here on this channel for Jason Hots. So I hope you guys will come back and watch that Friday night as they take on Drop Dead Gorgeous. And should be a pretty good game. We've seen some pretty good play from Drop Dead Gorgeous this season. They're an chair league team, so they've got quite a lot of experience in terms of you know, coordinated play. So we've seen them around for quite a lot of amateur league play. So it'll be interesting to see how they go up against A-MEI-ZING in what is going to be, I believe, their 4th match of the season, as they had kind of a light first couple of weeks, but they've been coming out and looking good so far. So we'll have to see how that turns out on Friday night. But till then, guys, that is going to be it for me here in the Nexus Gaming series. And for NGS, I am Jason. Thank you guys for coming out and watching tonight. Don't forget to hit that follow button and come on back for the next NGS match. And until then, I'll see you guys later. Have a good night.